Good afternoon. My name's Chris Brown. I'm an analyst with Morgans Financial, and I'm here this afternoon with Peter Ledwidge, the Managing Director of Mako Gold. Mako has been at a few Noosa conferences before. Peter's been the managing director for, in fact, the founding managing director, and took the company into Cote d'Ivoire. Peter, perhaps you can give us a bit of your background in West Africa.
Yeah, I've worked in West Africa, started about 30 years ago in Mali and Burkina Faso. And more recently, I've been there about 15 years, working for a previous company called Orbis Gold. We had some great success in Burkina. And then once that got taken over, we founded Mako Gold and started in Burkina and shifted our focus to Cote d'Ivoire, which is such an amazing country.
So now you're in Cote d'Ivoire. What's Cote d'Ivoire like to work in? It's a francophone country, I think, isn't it?
It is. Most of West Africa is francophone, and so it's the infrastructure there is amazing, and getting better all the time. There's a lot of money being poured into Cote d'Ivoire compared to its neighbors. A lot of people don't understand how different each country is in West Africa or Africa in general. But the infrastructure is amazing. The government is very easy to deal with, very pro mining. I couldn't think of a better jurisdiction to work in.
And Peter, you've now got a gold resource at the Napier project in Cote d'Ivoire. That project is your focus. Can you tell us a little bit about the resource and the immediate exploration upside?
Yeah, so we've got 868,000 ounces at 1.2 grams. So we call that the starting point. So at those grades, those are very common grades in West Africa, and a lot of companies are mining those kind of grades or even lower. So we know that what we need to do is basically double that resource. Once we do that, then it's economic. Or the other way that we can do it is what we're doing right now. We're drilling on, I guess it could be called a new discovery, because we've been doing some mapping and trenching and so on for the last 6 to 8 months on Chaga North. An area 6 kilometers long. And we're getting some really high grade, rock chip samples there, up to, 76 grams per ton. So that's another way to grow the resource, find some high grade, and then you don't need as many ounces.
And how much you've got a structure there that you're looking along. How long's the structure, and how much do you think you've tested to resource status? And do you have a realistic exploration target?
Well, I won't answer the exploration target because people will think it's a CEO rambling on again. But we've drilled. For our resource, we drilled 4.4 kilometers of a 30-kilometer fault. So that's about 13% of it. So we like to say, we can easily see 2, 3, 4 million ounces there, possibly more. But basically, we need some more drilling to find it.
And it's not your only project in Cote d'Ivoire. You've got a manganese story further north. I mean, that's not a high-value product. What's the infrastructure like around that discovery?
Yes, that's kind of, we call it an opportunistic discovery. So we were looking for gold and found a whole lot of pyrolusite on the ground, which is a manganese ore. So it started to, pique our interest, and especially our GM exploration and chief geologist were harping on me. There's quite a bit of it. And I said, define quite a bit. And then when it was multi-kilometers, that got my attention. So we've been working that. And so far we've got about 40 kilometers of strike length of manganese bands that are anything from, 100 meters to 300 meters wide. Excellent infrastructure. We got a railroad 40 kilometers to the east. We got a high voltage power line 10 kilometers to the west. We got 2 dams on the north side and south side of the permit. I mean, you couldn't get better infrastructure.
So what's the news flow for Mako Gold going to be over the next, say, 6 months or so?
Well, one of the things we've been working on is getting a joint venture partner for the manganese project, so that can free us up to work strictly in the gold project while monetizing that partially. So we're waiting to hear if there's some interest on that. So that could be one of the catalysts. We're doing our drilling program now. The results won't be out for another 4 or 5 weeks or so, but we are targeting high grade. So that could be a bit of a game changer for us. And, we're working on some other, deals, I guess, that, companies like us are always working on.
And Peter, I haven't looked at the gold price this morning. Can you tell me what it is?
Well, it jumped up a little bit. So last time I looked, it was 24.70, something like that. So, hit an all-time high. You're seeing it translate a little bit into some of the producers. Typically, you've been at this a few years longer than me, but I've been in this business, close to 40 years. And typically the producers start to get, the advantages, and then it trickles down to the juniors. So, it's been a long wait, and we're definitely waiting for that.
Peter, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for telling us about Mako Gold and Cote d'Ivoire. And what did he say about the gold price? 24.70 or something? It's not actually all that bad, really. Thanks, Peter.
Cheers.